Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to Anniversary Park here for the first qualifying final between Rockingham and Centrals. We're coming live from Anniversary Park. The two skippers in the middle now. McPhail for Centrals as we await the decision from the toss. It's going to be a cracking game, and it is won by the skipper of Rockingham, Leighton, who have won the toss. They're kicking to the left of screen here in this first term, with thanks to Alcoa. My name's James Gardner. It's great to have your company. These two sides playing off in the first qualifying final. The winner to take on South Mandurah in the second qualifying final next week, while the loser will play the winner of Pinjarra and Halls Head. That game also being played at the same time. Rockingham, they finished in second place on 56 premiership points, hence they are hosting today's game up against Centrals, who finished in third on 52 points. In the previous three encounters this year, it was the Blues in round 5 by 17 points. That was here at Rockingham. In round 11, the Rams won away from home by 17 points. And in round 15, the Rams were decisive winners by 30 points here at Rockingham. So it is going to be a cracking game of football. The winner to take on a red-hot Falcons lineup in next week's second qualifying final, while the loser will take on Pinjarra or Halls Head. It's a great day for football here in Rockingham. Not a cloud in the sky. Not a whole lot of breeze to speak of either. Could not ask for a better day. 19 degrees is the current temperature. Wind gusts up to 20 kilometres per hour. They'll come in a little later on. But Rockingham have won the toss through Leighton, and they'll be kicking to the left of screen here in the first term. Great to have your company, with thanks to Classic Clashes and Filming Footy. Brought to you by Great Southern Fuels, UTF Trailers, AFGRI, Deltarag, the Archies and Kimberley Accommodation Group, along with Alcoa, 2A Bakeries, Tyre Right Rockingham, Ray White Mandurah and Community Bank Halls Head. This first quarter brought to you by Alcoa. We're all set and ready in the middle of the ground. White to do the rucking against Bradley. Rockingham head in slight favourites, having won the previous two encounters against Centrals. The Blues away from home looking for a finals victory. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and we're underway in the qualifying final for 2025. It was Bradley who won the hit out, but it won't go very far as it's locked up just a couple of metres from where we all started. One-on-ones across the ground to keep an eye on. Knocked down to Walsh, tried to fight his way through the pack. Went in for a second go. Eventually spills loose, getting his handball free. Again, Walsh does the tackling. To the outer side it heads. McGavin leads the race. He's got Elcock for company, who wants the guys at the boundary line. Falls its way to Dunster. Has to stop and prop. Looks for the handball inside. Almost inside 50, but it's cut off by White for Rockingham. He goes to Morley through the middle of the ground. They're wanting to get this run and gun game going off half back here, the Rams, and they're doing it to great success so far. A complete switch of the ground to Willis, who was worried out of it. Almost had a free kick. Umpire not being kind to him and giving it to him. It's slapped forward. McPhail, the skipper, there, got the handball away just in time. Goodall tried going in, handball away, umpire calls play on, and then dumped to the ground is Millam, who is set upon, and he's happy to wrap it up and get a stoppage. In front of the Rockingham benches, ripped out of the ruck by White, tries to slam it on the boot. It was a straight up and under kick. Foreman sat under it, couldn't get a clean possession. To centre wing it heads, leading the race was Somerville, tried to trap it in front, then goes off the deck. Sockel will lead the race, but coming in for support, Somerville hands it to Elcock. He goes in turn. So they're trying to handball their way out of trouble. Foreman gave it back to Elcock in the bright orange boots. They're inside 50 for the first time. Knocked to the front of the contest. They're out here. Foster has to be clean. Wasn't. Tregear is there doing the defensive work. Hands it back to Norman. He wants to go free, and they're out of trouble through Tregear, who goes wide to Morley. Has to stop and prop and invites a bit of pressure from Taylor. Went for the stiff arm, handed it to the captain in Leighton. He goes down the boundary line. He overcooked the kick to Poole, and it opens the door now for Stubbs from Centrals to mop up the mess. And they're able to just withhold a little bit of pressure here, the Centrals. Going inside the corridor, Dunster, it was a little hot for him. Wrapped up, and there's been a high tackle paid, going the way of Rockingham. It's with Morley. Defensive side of centre. Wants to release Tregear. Going down the line to right half forward. Stubbs overread it. And eventually it rolls over and out for a boundary throw in. Both sides just a little bit of a frantic start to this game, trying to feel their way into it. We wait for them to just settle a little bit. It's been end-to-end football so far. Centrals have probably had more of the footy as they win this clearance again, and to the broadcast side they head. The bounce, well, it needed to be kind. It wasn't quite. It's just knocked forward. Elcock will lead the charge. He was beaten to it, though, by Mellon. He handed it back inside. Layden over the top. Goes in turn to White. He goes to the Voice. And the Voice was with Walsh from 50 for the first in the qualifying final. He gets it. And the Rams are on the board. Walsh from outside 50 gets them started on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. It's the home side Rockingham, 1 straight 6 to Central's no score. We've played almost 4 minutes here in the first term, with thanks to our car. Something out of nothing for the Rams on their home deck in front of close to 900 people in attendance here at Anniversary Park. It's a great crowd in attendance. Car park was chock-a-block when I pulled in just over an hour ago, and it's great to see lots of people supporting country football. The high up and under ball, it's just going to be slapped forward. Going in, Foreman. It was a clean pick-up, and he goes right round. He had time and he had space to make up his mind. They're back inside 50 to the one-on-one. Sokol had it knocked away from him. Layden, the skipper for Rockingham. He goes to a 2-on-1 in favour of Centrals. And Dragovic takes the mark. Looks inside the corridor. There's plenty of options. Further on from here is Catino. Not willing to go to him. Eventually he does. There, McPhail, the skipper. Catino right in the middle of Anniversary Park. Goes to Stubbs. Methodical ball movement as they launch inside 50 now. It's to a 3-on-1, leading the race. Foster took front position and gets the mark. 45 metres out from goal. A slight angle and a chance to get the Blues on the board. And a fast response here in the first term. He had a couple hanging off him. He took front position. And in the end, landed on the big chest of Foster. For the fast reply the Blues need away from home in the qualifying final for the Peel Football and Netball Association, from just inside 50, it's hanging to the right. It almost stays in. Eventually it's knocked over and out, and it's through for a minor score. So the Blues are on the board in the form of a rush behind. 1 straight 6, plays 1 behind in the early stages of this first term. Tregear in the long sleeves goes into the pocket, and it's with Butler, who blasts it long to centre wing, knocks to the back. Miguel stopped and propped, wanted to handball it over. His hands were interfered with, and as a result, it's escorted over the line by Bradley. About to be thrown back into play. On the outer side, almost centre wing, just forward of centre for Centrals. Trying to work their way out of trouble here at Rockingham. Holland went to the boundary. Suazo wanted to keep it inboard.
Come on, Mundy!
And Centrals are able to relieve it away, although the boundary line wins out. Rockingham get the free kick. Butler, an almost true centre-half back. They're wanting to use these wide expanses of Anniversary Park. He puts it towards centre wing. The runner is there. This time it's Selkirk. He puts it inside for Miller to stop and prop and want to get onto that favoured right boot. And in the end, the kick wasn't fantastic as it's wrapped up at half-back for Centrals. Toss back into play. White to do the ruck work up against Bradley. Bradley won it down. Alcock won the clearance. Goes towards centre wing with a tumbling ball. Winning the race, Tregear just slams it back to where it came, and it works out okay for Rockingham as Kimpton takes front position, switches it to Butler. Goes with the left. A delightful ball inside 50, but it's chopped up even better by the defence of Centrals. Again, wanting to use these wide expanses of Anniversary Park. Both sides wanting to shift the defence. Central's a little slow in their ball movement. Coutinho handed it wide, got the 1-2, and then had it dispossessed. Went back in, had time to make up for his mess. Stubbs is there, goes back in and turns the tackler from the attacker. Spills loose. Holland slams it on the boot inside 50. Umpire calls play on, not far enough. Quickly off the boot to the top of the goal square. Standing under it was Miller. There was a push in the back, and it's going the way of Centrals. Alcock in the back pocket. Goes wide and almost taking the uncontested mark is Taylor. He juggles the mark and on the second attempt takes it. Goes short, barely the required distance to Finity. He goes shorter still, and now Miguel on centre wing. Has a bit of pressure from behind. Once Foster had it knocked away from him, knocked to the front. McGavin going wide, and they're out of trouble again, although Tregear will have a bit of work to do. The bounce was kind with Dragovic breathing down his neck. He goes wide up to half forward. The bouncing ball for Miller. Able to take it and then escort it over the line with Smith right on his hammer. Both sides have had their fair share of footy in their forward half. It's just a 25-minute straight quarter, or 4 quarters. This quarter brought to you by Alcoa. Toss back into play, almost going up uncontested is Bradley, left it behind. As it's wrapped up at the bottom of the pack, the umpire will circle and call holding the ball. Going the way of the Rams. They'll be back inside 50, although from behind the tackle was laid by Westphale. Handball was given away just in time to Kimpton. He goes inside 50 and floating through his Willis, plays on and tumbles home the Rams second. Again, something out of nothing for the Rams. All it took was a couple of clean possessions, and they get their second goal on the Community Bank Hall's Head scoreboard. It's Rockingham, 2 straight 6 to Central's 1 behind. We've played almost 11 minutes, 10.5 minutes gone here in the first term. On Classic Clashes, with thanks to Filming Footy, great to have your company for your Saturday afternoon. It's an 11-point margin in favour of the home side in Rockingham. They finished in second on 56 points. Central's in third on 52, a game behind them. And they need to get a bit better connection heading inside 50 as it's won away by the Rams from the middle and inside 50 at heads. Cleared the initial contest. They're able to relieve it away. Foreman has been good early, although the kick won't quite travel to him. They'll have to be clean beneath his feet, and the bounce was good enough for him. Sold a bit of candy and then ran straight back into trouble. Will have to try and mop up his own mess. A couple of defenders jump on him. One of them was Walsh, content to take the stoppage.
Come on, Monday.
Great crowd in attendance. You can feel spring right around the corner as we head into finals footy right around WA and Australia. It's a fantastic time of year as we get out of the depths of winter and into the delightfulness and the hope and growth of spring. And another stoppage close toward the boundary line. As both sides start to settle into this game, you feel as though the Rams have settled slightly better, particularly when going inside 50. Kick was smothered, locked up again, although somehow works its way out as it's slammed forward by Daniel. A high up and under ball toward half forward. Mark taken by Poole. He handed it to Walsh. He wanted to go inside 50. Kick wasn't fantastic. Stubbs below the knees was clean. Handed it back. Dragovic through sets of hands. Gave it away to Foreman. He handed it in turn to Dunster, and they're over and out the back here. Takes a couple of bounces, Dunster. Hands it to Alcock. Looks inside 50. He's got one-on-ones ahead of him. So he handed it to the run instead of Dunster, who goes all the way for goal. The man who started it off half-back finishes it with the first for the Centrals. And they hit back to get within 5 points on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. It's Rockingham 2 straight 12. Centrals 1-1-7. A 5-point margin as we enter the midway point of the first term. An important finish there from Dunster. Could that kick-start the Centrals in this game? First quarter, all thanks to Alcoa. It's palmed down, but won't be going anywhere anytime soon. So we get the restart. Right in the middle of Anniversary Park, in front of a very nice crowd here in the Perth Football and Netball Association. Runners-up in the Nutrient Country Championships this year. Always a powerhouse throughout the competition. Handed over. Foreman, he's been busy to begin with. Off the right boot, looks for Dunster again. The bounce went at right angles. Tregear will have a bit of work to do. Hands it back to Tregear. He's wrapped up by Dunster. He's got a bit of work to do. Handed it wide. Miguel knocked it forward. But the defence of the Rams up to the challenge. Suazo hurled it over a couple. The umpire calls holding the ball. Great pressure from Centrals, 4 to 50. Foster will get the free kick. The tight angle up against the boundary line, 40 metres out from goal to hand them the lead for the first time today. Wrong side for a left footer and right footer even, and as a result it is through for a minor score only. I'll come toward the broadcast side of the ground, the Rams, as it's knocked over and out. Four points currently the margin. 2 straight plays, 1-2 on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard as it's held back into play right on the 50 for Centrals. Knocked to the front. Dragovic quickly gets it away from up to the teeth of goal. Sokol led the race. Bounced over his head. Might have time to recover. Leighton is there for the Rams. Westphale tried to scrap his way through. Dunster's already kicked one today from the outside of the boot. Chinadas it toward goal and gets it. Dunster gets his second. Centrals take the lead. And we've got a ring-a-ding-ding game so far. A cracking start to this qualifying final. What more could you want from country football? Dunster has 2. Centrals get their second as well. They move to 2-2-14. They play Rockingham 2 straight 12 after the Rams kicked the first 2 of the game and look to have settled better. They now find themselves down by 2 points. Dunster, a classy finisher. Loving the work that they're doing out of the middle so far, the Centrals. Catino's been moved in there. Dragovic gets the clearance. Westphale knocked it to himself, handed it over to Dunster. He handed it to the voice of Catino. Had to worry his opponent out of it. Got it back out the back door to Dunster. Little underground kick. Sokol got a kind bounce. Spins it around the corner. Knocked away from the intended target. Off the deck goes Somerville towards goal. Doesn't have the journey. As it's mopped up, down back by Millum. He goes wide. Trying to scrap their way forward, and they're under a bit of pressure here, the Rams. Poole quickly gets it toward centre wing. Bouncing ball. Miller had composure. Handed over his head. Wasn't to anyone really in particular, but it worked out okay. To half forward they head. The one-on-one, Kimpton knocked it to himself, then went off the deck. Willis, bouncing ball, had to try and sit under that one. Wasn't the smartest of options. Opens the door for Centrals to lock it up and take a bit of time off the clock. And reset deep in defence. Deep in attack here for Rockingham. It's tossed back up from the restart. Won't be going anywhere fast. The Ruckman reset themselves and get ready to go again. It's knocked to the front of the contest. Lots of numbers there for both sides. Taylor was at the bottom of that pack as he's set upon, and we'll do it all again. The third repeat stoppage we've had within the last couple of moments. Both Ruckman had a piece of it. Knocked to the front. Centrals win the clearance. Leighton takes the mark right on the 50. Seems pretty confident from this journey. The man on the mark is right on the 50. He's got no leads presenting for him up forward, so they believe the skipper has the journey in him to give the Rams back the lead. After they kicked the first two of the game, they won the toss, kick to the left of screen. Leighton, the skipper. This would be some sort of kick, and as he wheels out for extra distance, he gives away the accuracy as it goes out of bounds on the full, missing the lot. Giannardi to take the free kick. He doesn't have a whole lot of movement up the ground, so he goes into the corridor and left alone was Goodall. Takes an uncontested mark and the run is released now. They're away. Miguel goes wide. Goodall has to stop and prop. Handed it back to the run of Foreman. Got the handball free. Back to Goodall. He goes out the back door and then short away to Westphale, who had to work for it. Was caught in the one-on-one. Doing well there, Suazo. Handed it back to Kimpton, who was then knocked off the ball. Umpire called advantage play on. Butler goes down the line. Miller takes the mark. His kick was smothered by Elcock. Then knocking it along the boundary line, managing to keep it in. Gets the 1-2. Doing well there, Elcock. Handed it to Bradley, who goes along the boundary line. Kick was smothered. Out of bounds. We'll get a throw in right in front of our commentary position here for Classic Clashes. With thanks to Great Southern Fuels, UTF Trailers, After Deltrake, Archies, and of course the Kimberley Accommodation Group. Still time for a late entrance into the Kimberley Accommodation Group Goal of the Year or the After Mark of the Year. This quarter brought to you by Alcoa. First qualifying final in the Peel Football and Netball Association. The winner of this game will go into play South Mandurah next weekend and be one win away from a grand final. Knocked to the front. Miguel got the handball free, bouncing away. Suazo. Just really a kick in hope to a 3-on-1. It was in favour of Centrals. Knocked to the side. Tregear wanted the line, couldn't quite find it. Kimpton was there in support. Getting back, Elcock. Or Stanley rather. He wants to switch it wide. It was a good looking ball. It now opens them up down the fat side. They go wide. Giannardi protected the drop zone and did so effectively up against Norman. Wheels around, goes inside 50. Tregear did well. Dunster's already kicked 2 today. Decides to go by hand to Somerville. Knocked to the front. Tregear worked his way out of trouble and gave it to Morley. Well done out of defence. And they're out now. Here the Rams. Miller has time and space ahead of him. Surveys the options. In the end, probably had too much time and space. It was a kick in hope and really a nothing one. They go away with a really key opportunity. Centrals, now their time to attack. Bouncing away and doing well. Millam handed it back. Kimpton through the middle of the ground. Goes toward half forward. It's a 1-on-1. Knocked to the front. Goodall tries to work his opponent over. Goes on hands and knees. Slapped it into danger. Down toward the top of the goal square. Snapping it around the body. The goal is there. Aporsi gets himself on the board. It's his 42nd goal of the year. Horst. He's only played 14 games to kick 41 goals, going at a decent clip, and he hands back the Rams the lead. Three straight, 18. Plays 2-2-14. We've got a great game of football on our hands here. As you would expect, between two very good sides. Back in the middle of Anniversary Park, Rockingham's turn to attack. They win the clearance again, tumbled toward half forward. Bouncing ball in front of Hill, and to try and slap it to his own advantage. There's been a whistle on play. Coming back to Hill. Right half back for Centrals. As Dragovic through the middle of the ground decides not to go to him, instead wants Stubbs to centre wing, who did well to take the slips catch. Hands it to the runner, Coutinho. We know how classy and smooth he is with ball in hand. And they're out again here. This run-off half-back is costly for the Rams at the moment. Inside 50, on the lead. Mark taken by Somerville. They had to sort this transition game out, the Rams. Centrals are carving them up off half-back. As Somerville takes the mark. And the chance to hand them back the lead in what has been an arm wrestle through the first term. Somerville looks good off the boot. If it holds its line, it doesn't. It fades from right to left, and it's through for the minor score only. Cuts the margin to 3 points. Right toward the end of the first term is their one late twist in the tail. To the front, Norman handed it wide. It's locked up again. Norman went back and retrieved his own footy, handed it away to the run of Miller. He blasts it to half forward. It was to a 2-on-1 though, and the numbers went out for the Blues. Happy to wind this clock down and head into quarter time. 3 points behind here. Centrals so far. Stanley. As the siren sounds to end the first term, we've got a great game of football on our hands. At quarter time, with thanks to Community Bank, Halls Head, it is the Rams. 3 straight 18 to play the Centrals 2-3-15 here on Classic Clashes with thanks to Filming Footy. We'll take a break. Be back with the second quarter right after this. Welcome back to Anniversary Park. It is the first qualifying final in the Peel Football and Netball League between Rockingham and Centrals, and at quarter time it is the Rams 3 straight 18 to the Blues 2-3-15. It is a 3-point margin in favour of Rockingham, who finished in second. I'm joined in commentary by Rod Glanz, the Colts coach. Very good win this morning. Congratulations firstly on the win. Great to have you on board.
It was great. Very enjoyable morning, and a very good team performance by our Colts boys.
So far, a 3-point margin in favour of the Rams. What do you think both coaches would be messaging at quarter time?
Oh, I think both would be up and about. I think Mundijong, without their key ruckman, would be very happy to still be right in the contest. And I think Rockingham probably haven't quite hit their straps yet as to where they could be. Very young group of footballers who I think will build into the game. Aaron Dunster coming back from, young Dunster coming back from Peel Thunder to play for Mundijong's very handy pickup. Got some good kids out there, so yeah, I think it's going to make for a very good game of footy.
3 points the margin in favour of Rockingham. The umpire holds the ball aloft, and we're underway in the second term. Here on Filming Footy this second quarter, brought to you by R28 Bakeries, as there's been a free kick picked out for a throw going the way of Centrals. It will be with Miguel. Looks inside the corridor, nothing doing, so he goes long looking for Elcock. It clears the initial pack. Bouncing ball over the back of the contest. Dunster hands it back inside. Elcock had to be clean, wasn't. Got the heavy bump for his troubles. It spills loose, and the kick on goal is good for Finity. Centrals within the first 30 seconds hand back the lead. It was fast play off half-back, which we saw through the first quarter. And
exceptional. That's a very young group of footballers to just put that passage together for Mundijong. Extremely good.
3-3-21, plays 3 straight 18. A cracking start if you're a Blues supporter. How do they go about stopping the half-back run of the Blues? Because we saw it through the first quarter. That was where, really, they got their 2 goals through the first, and now they're first in the second term.
So the best probably player in the whole competition over the year, Brad McPhail off half-back, is just a leader of that Mundijong side. And when he sends them, they go.
Handball out from Tregear. It's tumbled toward centre-half forward for Rockingham. Palmer inside 50. Bouncing ball. Wasn't the greatest of kicks. The pressure affected that. Umpire will come in. Free kick. Going the way of the Blues. Now a couple of free kicks in this second quarter. Going the way of Centrals. It's with Goodall. Wants to blast it toward the corridor. It's a dangerous ball. It's a 2-on-1. Overcooked the kick, and it could work out okay for Rockingham. Catino goes in, hands and knees, flicks it wide, and then it's locked up. The umpire will circle and call for a ball up on centre wing outer side.
And Coutinho, again, one of those wingers that just owns that wing, and will be a big chance for the All-Star team this year.
Both ruckmen had a piece of it. Walsh won the clearance, tumbles it inside 50. Off the deck goes Smith, just wants to clear the defensive area and did so effectively. So it was locked up with McPhail. James Gardner and Rod Glanz in the commentary box. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you are around Australia. It's been a cracking game so far. 3-point margin in favour of the Blues. Again, both ruckmen having a piece of it, but yet again Rockingham win the clearance. Knocked away from the initial contest. To the front it heads. Handed back. The flying shot at goal came from outside 50. How does the ball sit? Well, it sat okay, and then it sat long enough for it to be knocked through for a minor score. Right on the goal line by McPhail.
And that's as much as Fraser Miller needs, is that just 1 second to play and he can do anything.
Goodall going wide, overcooked the kick. Daniel picks it off. Forward half turnovers into forward 50. Smith wants to wheel and go, hands it wide. Bradley trapped it, puts it over the top, and now start to build something yet again. Taylor receives it from Dragovic in the bright green boots. Goes further afield. Foster, who was out of his reach, and goes over and out for out of bounds on the full. White to receive the free kick. They get a little lucky there, Rockingham, that just an error in disposal. Centrals were off and gone yet again down that outer side. To centre wing it heads to a big pack of players and floating through. Taking the mark. Inside 50 again, the Centrals head, but it was a pretty poor kick and a poor option. So just as the first quarter started, we've been playing between the arcs. Tregear now set a bit of a task as he runs out of tarmac. Will be a forward 50 stoppage for Centrals. Going to the left of screen in this second term rather. Thanks to R2A Bakeries. They hold a 3-point lead on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. Knocked to the front, getting it out of there. Miller tried to clear the danger zone. Dragovic stood in his way though. Handed it to McPhail, who just blasts it inside 50. It's been a free kick picked out, and it's going to the skipper in Leighton.
Have to be in the mix for being centre half back of the year, Maxi Leighton.
It's been pretty good so far today, but they'd like to get a little bit more involvement from him off half back.
Using him as a lot as a ruckman during the year, so have him as a centre half back is their trump card sort of thing, and he just settles everything when he's back there. You got a very senior back six, I suppose, with Rockingham.
Up to the front, won't be going anywhere. The Tregear boys down back seem to be pretty handy types to have in your back six.
Well, pretty amazing to have three blokes that have come from a rival club, and one of them I think had won 9 fairest and best at one stage at a rival club at Quinana, and amazing young blokes. They've come in and settled in beautifully, so they have been very handy to have.
Cruising his way through, Miguel goes inside 50. It was a delightful ball. And when the delivery is as good as that, it is very, very hard to defend. The mark on the lead is taken by Sokol. He's kicked 53 goals this season from 15 games. Big key target. Hasn't kicked one to date. For the second, in the second quarter, it holds its line. It's goal. There. It just sneaks through. Sokol keeps the party going for Centrals. And they open this out to a handy 9-point margin. Very
handy to have that group of school teachers who are just adding to their list out there at Mundajong, with Sokol coming in with the likes of Hill and Chuka, the league coach, who all mates together and all school teachers together that have brought a very good group of people together.
An important goal to open it up by 8 points on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. Hope you're enjoying the coverage with thanks to Classic Clashes and Filming Footy. Ball back in the middle of Anniversary Park. Through a few sets of hands, it eventually works its way out. Almost a push in the back. No free kick forthcoming. It's just blasted out of inside 50 by Walsh. Kimpton lost his footing. Spills loose. Time and space for Westphale to survey the options. In the end, probably had a little too much time. Stanley is on hands and knees and happy to lock it up at centre wing, outer side. Umpire happy to reset things. Out of the contest again. Rockingham winning the clearance. They probably had the upper hand through the middle, just not getting it on the scoreboard. Tumbled toward half forward. It's a bouncing ball. It sits okay and inside the pocket, and it's a nice, well-weighted kick from Willis forward.
Alper's having a cracking finish to the season. Multiple bags over the last few weeks. Just a pleasure to have up forward, and having I see Jason Hill playing as a defender today for Bundaberg, which is interesting because that's another key target that they used to use as a forward.
Ophurst with 1 today. He had 41 goals heading into this game. We're right behind this kick from Ophurst. It's going to swing back.
Oh, look at that.
And it stays to the right.
Oh. There's some high fives there for Stephen Green, the goal umpire's called that.
Thought it may have done enough work late to swing through. If I didn't see it that way.
Grab, great grab.
Willis with the intercept. Forward half, he's going to send them back inside 50. The shake and bake delightful toward the top of the goal square. Ophurst will set himself, was knocked away from him to the front of the contest. Lurking is Morley, tried to scrap his way through. Spills to Walsh, slams it on the boot across the face of goal, and it's out of bounds on the full. This game just lifting a couple of notches.
What do you love when the best two teams are going at each other? This is very good football.
Cracking game of football for your Saturday afternoon. Where else would you rather be? To a big pack of players.
Great grab.
Great mark. Taken by White.
Ex-Bundaberg player who has dominated this year at Rockingham.
He'll pump them back inside 50 to the top of the goal square. Foreman at the deck. A rare fumble by him. Left it behind. Opens the door. Wrapped up. Been impressed by his work, Foreman, on this broadcast wing through that first quarter. I thought he was pretty good.
Doing a big job without Hilly in the ruck. Someone's had to step up for him.
Thrown back into play. Bradley slapped it behind. Miller just off the deck, tumbles it toward Ophurst. Trapping it, Kimpton. Almost threw it on the boot in hope. Wrapped up. But the important thing is for Rockingham here, repeat inside 50 entries.
Need to score. Definitely need to score. Reward for effort.
Thrown back up. Bradley knocked it to his feet. Trying to scrap their way through. Dragovic with a loose handball. Butler was the voice. Will reel onto the left toward goal. The mark paid. Right on the goal line by Willis.
No, hold on. Score review.
Behind is paid. Thought it may have been taken in front of the line. Umpire doesn't see it that way. Cuts the margin to a single kick. Out of defence. Pulling back with it to centre wing. There's a one-on-one knocked toward the front of the contest. Wheeling and dealing his way out of defence is Butler. Spilling the mark, Elcock invites the pressure now, rather Stanley. Coutinho was there for support, and it works out okay for Centrals. Into now, Elcock takes the mark, or rather this time Foster. Hands it to Coutinho. Releases the run to centre half forward. It was a nice delivery, well-weighted kick. And taking front position is Finity. Dead in front of goal. Almost 50 metres out. This would take some sort of kick. But it would break the momentum that Rockingham have built in field position. From right on 50. Finity for his second. He's got there. Central strike back and open it up to a two straight game. 12 points the margin. The underdogs away from home are giving the Rams a run for their money. Classy finish by Finity.
Exceptional now to see what each coach does as far as settling in for the last few minutes of this game, this half, because it's up for grabs right now, whoever's involved. I think that next centre contest is going to be absolutely red hot.
12 points in favour of the Blues, who trailed by 3 points at quarter time on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard.
Kobe Foster into the middle.
Toss back into play from the restart. This is where Rockingham have really owned the game, is through the middle. But they'll be getting the clearance here, Centrals, with a holding the ball decision. Coutinho hands it back to Taylor. Will have to make up for his sloppy handball to a 2-on-1. Free kick will be going to Leighton. On the outer side. Looked inboard momentarily. Decided he didn't like what was on offer. So he'll wheel to centre wing to a big pack of players. Both sides well represented. To the feet of the contest. Flicked wide. Miller tried to work his way through. Left it behind. Spills loose.
Tackle.
Great pressure from behind.
Great tackle. Oh!
It's been a free kick for a high tackle going the way of Tregear. He has Morley working for him into the corridor. Up ahead, there's one-on-ones. Ophurst will lead from deep. Won't get to him. Instead, it lands in the lap of Poole. Wheels and goes. Wants to play on from 50. Has time to spot the kick up. It wasn't the greatest of kicks in the end, although it works out to Holland. He handed it back to Ophurst. Under pressure. Centrals. Can they work their way out of trouble? Miguel has 3 to beat. The Rams, they're still fighting. Inside 50. Ophurst tried to paddle it to himself. In the end, needed to be clean. Wasn't. And it's worked out by Westphale. And he goes to Elcock. Great composure by the Blues.
He's away.
Selling a bit of candy. Elcock. The shake and the bake. Goes towards Somerville in the one-on-one. Happy to see it over the boundary line. Great work from defence by the Blues.
Exceptional defence there. That was team defence all round.
Right under pressure now, Rockingham. This margin at a 2-goal game. Have not kicked a goal in this second term. Just 2 behinds to their name for what has really been a quarter of dominance.
They've been all over them most of the ground. It's just finishing off. That's that one key factor in footy.
On the flip side, it's been 3 goals in favour of the Blues. Finity with 2, who has come to play
Pace, Con and Daniel.
in this
Pace.
second term. Into the corridor, Stubbs bounced off his chest. Spills to Morley. Shrugged off a couple of tackles. Looks inside. Ophurst sliding through. Leaves it behind. Slapped forward. The handball away. Hill stops and props. Travels the required 15 to McPhail. Right in front of our commentary position. It was a high up and under ball. Off the side of the boot. Work to do now for Stanley. He's got Ophurst to beat. Able to use a bit of composure. Well done. Sees them out of trouble. Miguel, Coutinho. Going short, using the angles, spreading this defence of the Rams. They'll stick to the outer side where majority of the play has been from a Central's perspective. Tregear chops it off. The defence of Rockingham has been good so far today, but it's been probably pipped by Centrals at this stage. Morley tumbles it toward half forward. Tregear tried to knock it in front of him. It wasn't to his side's advantage. Dunster puts it into the corridor. Bouncing ball, handed away from Butler. Gets it back from the 1-2. It was an interesting looking ball, but it works to Daniel. He's going laterally to the one-on-one. Knocked away. Goodall did well. To the front. Daniel wrapped up, holding the ball. Just no easy ball so far throughout the game for Rockingham, and mind you, Centrals as well.
Both sides are really trying to lock in here.
Bradley, inside 50. To a 2-on-1, got past the contest, runs out of tarmac. Over and out. Inside 50 stoppage for Centrals. Going to the left of screen in this second term. Brought to you by Art 2A Bakery. Still plenty of time left in this second term. Elcock with a quick high up and under ball. Not the required journey. Play on, says the umpire. So both sides going with the defensive spoils instead. Ball scraps away toward the boundary line. Elcock keeps it in and eventually is seen over the boundary line. If you're Rockingham heading into half time, still plenty of time to play in this second term, but what are you looking where are you looking for a response in the second half?
I think there's a little bit of belief, just a little bit of back to your structures that you've done all year.
Toss back into play. The defence has so far been good today. Miguel will take the mark on the chest and send it back to where it came. Just about all players inside the defensive half of Centrals, and somehow he still picks out Miguel. Stubbs to Miguel on the lead. The mark taken. A breakdown in defence there from Rockingham.
Once again, this is a few of their senior players from last year's grand final who played a little bit of reserves footy last year, who just slot back into this league side when they need to, and they allow blokes like this, Miguel, to just do what they do.
Miguel, it would take some sort of kick from there. It goes across the face of goal and slams into the woodwork. They get away with one there, the Rams. Moves to 13 points on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. They've really owned this second term in terms of on the scoreboard, the Centrals.
Just a little bit of owning that pressure. That back-to-back premierships, you learn to do things under pressure, and that's what they're showing today.
Great to have Rod Glands in the commentary box for this second quarter alongside myself, James Gardner. Leighton.
They'd love to have 2 or 3 of Maxi Leighton, that would be for sure.
Going short, Kimpton. Laterally. On centre wing, the kick is overcooked and it again opens the door for the Blues, although cruising his way through and doing well. That's Selkirk,
Selkirk,
Selkirk, and through for a minor score. I don't have a 9-10 on my sheet, so we'll add that in. But again, errors going forward, wayward kicking really starting to cost Rockingham. 3 behinds now for this second term. Halfback for the Blues, Somerville takes the uncontested mark. Not a lot of movement forward of the ball, so he plays on and tries to buy himself a little bit of time and distance. Massages the ball down the line, knocked away and called out of bounds on the full. Came off a wayward boot of the Blues, and so it will be a Rockingham free kick. Mentioned in the break off air how Rockingham are such a young side outside of the Tregear guys. We'll get back to that in just a moment as they go forward to a 2-on-2, knocked away from Miller. But to finish second, get yourself into a qualifying final and be a really good chance as we'll come back to that in just one moment. Inside 50 at heads, knocked to the front, wrapped up. Rockingham have so much to like heading into the next few years with this core group of guys. The Colts side doing well, winning a qualifying final today. Now, a pretty young group, giving it a really good shake in a qualifying final.
That's your benefit of any footy club, having that next group of footballers coming through each time. And to have Colts footballers that have played grand finals year after year, it's amazing, as I said, and to have some of these young blokes out here running today, and there probably could be a few more, but it's great to see that level, and the football club is definitely in a positive upside. But Mundijong are doing exactly the same thing with their young group who have come from nowhere to be a very good Colts team as well, and their junior development out there is absolutely massive.
Tregear from the kick in, another behind for Centrals. Daniel goes short. Kick had to be good, and it was to Miller. Releases the run again to Daniel, who started this play at half back, and they've got it through a few sets of hands, and they're away again. Miller almost snapping it toward the pocket. It was a pretty good kick in the end. Doing well, though, in defence. Jennings won the one-on-one, won the battle, didn't win the war, though. Palmer will waltz into an open goal and get the Rams first of the second quarter. The dam wall eventually breaks, and the Rams get a major in the
Exceptional
second
goal.
term.
Took the hit, kicked the goal. Well done.
Finally, they break through. After doing so much attacking for so little reward, they finally get themselves back on the board.
I think that's both messages at half time with both coaches. We're pretty upbeat about how they're going.
28 plays 35, a 7-point margin in favour of the Blues, who have turned around a 3-point deficit at quarter time.
There's the bloke putting the hit on the bloke who kicked the goal, running all the way back to the forward line. Somerville's done his work getting all the way up the other end.
From the restart, there's a bit of run and a belief in this Rockingham side all of a sudden. Right on the halftime siren here. They need to go and go quickly. Coutinho wasn't the ideal result. It sets a task here for Dragovic. The bounce was good though. Siren can't be far.
There it is.
It comes at exactly the right time if you're a Rockingham supporter. They head in trailing after dominating that second term. But on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard, it is the Blues. After trailing by 3 points at quarter time, 35. They play Rockingham 28, a 7-point margin. We've got a great game on our hands. Do not go anywhere. First half, all done and dusted here at Anniversary Park. And if the second half is anything like it, we are in for a cracking finish to this game. Do not go anywhere here on Classic Clashes and Filming Footy in the second half, right after this.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Anniversary Park. It is the first qualifying final in the Peel Football and Netball League, and is the back-to-back reigning premiers in Centrals, leading by 7 points at half-time. 35 plays 28 over the Rockingham Rams. It was the Rams by 3 points at quarter-time, and now 7 points, as I mentioned, to the Blues. My name's James Gardner. Hope you're enjoying all the coverage with thanks to Filming Footy and Classic Clashes, joined for the third term by the Central's president, Jaden Clatworthy. Jaden, welcome along. Good start by your fellas in that first half.
Cheers for having me, mate. Yeah, no, pretty happy with it. I mean, yeah, a few injuries, so we're a bit wounded, but yeah, I think they're performing well. So it's Ryan's got a tough job, the league coach. So hopefully he can, get the boys over the line.
Tell you what, the work off half-back today has been very, very impressive. Is that something that's really focused on throughout all grades, or
yeah, without giving too much away?
Yeah.
Obviously, at training, Ryan makes sort of all the grades train to how he wants the league team to play. So sort of when blokes are coming back from the league team, all the game styles sort of and the gameplay is the same. So it's the way that Ryan wants to play is very fast. He likes to move it quick. So that's how he coaches them.
Well, it is certainly on show today. This third term brought to you by Tyre Power Rockingham. Great supporters of the Peel Football and Netball League. So far, the underdogs in the Centrals leading the Rams by 7 points. They finished in third on 52 points compared to the Rams, who finished in second on 56. But we're underway in the third term. The Rams kicking to the left of screen in this third quarter, and they get the advantage and play on. It was a kick inside 50 from Tregear, chopped off though at half-back. Going wide, Stanley takes the mark at half-back. Broadcast side of the ground, in front of the very busy club rooms. About 800 to 900 people in attendance. It's great to see so many people out and enjoying beautiful early spring weather. One away though by the Rams. Walsh pumps them back inside 50 to the top of the goal square. Great mark, almost taken down in defence. Play on, said the umpire. Unlucky not to be paid that. Willis banks the tackle, runs around, snaps the goal. Rams get first blood in the third term and trim the margin to a point. Not the start that the Centrals were after.
No.
A classy finish there by Willis to get it to a point. It's fair to say Rockingham have probably had the dominance out of the midfield. How do Centrals try and shut that down? Who are you looking to from a Blues perspective to stop the rot there?
Yeah, we've probably biggest sort of influence that we have through the midfield is Zach Miguel. He's probably been a very good player for us. We've also got experienced players like Toby Gianatti that are just really knuckle down and just go the hard ball. And then you've got the likes of Dragovic from South Freo, mate, and he's very experienced, very talented, and can sort of lead the boys very well. So our captain Goose, or Brad McVale, he does a tremendous job in keeping the boys focused and just sticking to their roles.
Seen the defence so far hold up well for the Blues. This time, well, it was almost an exception. It's been a whistle on play. The umpire will be calling it back for a dangerous tackle. An interesting call. Deep in defence here for Centrals. They get away with one because the Rams were in a great position to get the lead back.
Very lucky.
Down the outer side it heads. They want to move the ball again here, the Blues. They've got a couple of options inside the corridor. The bounce didn't favour any of them. And the Rams have ripped it away again. Tregear goes inside 50, onto the chest of Kimpton. Right on the paint of 50. Looking inside 50, options are plenty. And he spots the kick, carried barely the required journey. But the uncontested mark is taken, this time by Miller, dead in front of goal, right on the 50. This to hand back the lead for the Rams, who haven't had it since the start of the second term. It has the journey. It sneaks home for a goal. Almost. The umpires are going to confer.
Post looks bent.
Yeah. There were lots of bodies on the line. Did it carry? Did it hit the post? We've got 4 umpires all talking about it. And it's a point.
Ooh.
We've got a draw instead. 35 apiece on the Community Bank Hall's head scoreboard. Right on the goal line. Ripped away at the last moment, but they may get another chance here after they turn it over inside the forward half. Ball rolls over and out. Plenty of footy right around WA at the moment. The GNFL second semi, almost the end of the third term. Railways 9-11 play Chapman Valley 6-8 at the recreation ground. 3 sets of hands. Miller with a quick kick out of the pack goes right to the goal line, and on the last line of defence, it's taken. The defence of the Blues have been ultra impressive today. Knocked away from Elcock by Daniel, but the back 6, we've spoken about it right throughout the call, how strong they've been right throughout today.
Yeah, mate. Like I said, Brad McVale, the skipper, he's the Army General down there, and I guess one thing that really helps our game is how strong and united they are down there, and they really work hard for it, especially our training. Chuka really makes them work hard as a defence. Sort of use the reserves and the Colts as training cones, I'd say, and really work on them, their defence.
Tumbled towards centre wing. It's knocked out of the original contest. Tregear got the crumbs. Bounces off the chest of his intended target in Selkirk. Had time to recover. Wasn't the greatest of kicks, although the Kale's ball could work. Goodall was back there. He's got Stubbs coming in for support. It somehow makes its way out of the contest. Knocked away doing the defending is Miguel. Wasn't the greatest of spoils, though. Keeps the door open for the Rams. Coutinho flicks it wide. Dragovic goes further afield. This is the part of their game that we've seen work so well for them today. This run off half back. Knocked away. The Rams with the numbers at the deck. Can they mop it up? Suazo had to trap it. Was worried out of it. Had a lot of cavalry, though, to provide a bit of support. And it works out okay for them just. Leighton at true centre half back. Switches it to Butler. Across the goal face. Still in the defensive half. Towards centre wing. It's a one-on-one. Off the head of Millam. And it spills loose. Somerville stops some props. Massages the ball along the line. Elcock from inside 50. Goes toward the top of the goal square. Carries the head of Sokol. Had time to mop it up. Flicks it wide. Gianardi goes around. Spins. Finds Taylor. A great show of composure. Didn't panic with it. Found its way to Taylor. And this would hand them back the lead. Currently 35 apiece. To put it back to a goal the difference. Taylor strikes it well off the boot. Never in doubt. Gets the first major of the third term for Centrals. And on the Community Bank Hall's head scoreboard, they draw clear by a goal. This third term brought to you by Tyre Power Rockingham. And so far, it's been a very even one.
Yeah, it has been. The beauty about Peel Football League is you sort of, no matter where you are on the ladder, you're always going to get a good contest. And I think that's why this is a very good comp. And, Jeff Hillier and Darren Drews and that work tirelessly behind the scenes at the on the committee meetings and things like that for the league. They do a very good job at creating a very strong comp, and I think it actually shows with a lot of clubs actually willing and wanting to come and play here and try and be involved, especially with the pre-season carnivals and things like that. Hats off to them, man. They do a very good job.
Ball back in the middle. Both Ruckman had a piece of it at the deck. Dunster, who started well with 2 goals in the first term, has gone a little quiet since then, trying to fend off and doing it successfully. Was Millam, handed it back for Morley to pump it inside 50. At the front of the contest, Poole had time, wanted to flick it wide for Walsh. The hands were a little too hot though for him. Going in, Bradley handed it wide. Dragovic wanted the voice and just a handball in hope, and it works out well if you're a Ram supporter, but the kick wasn't great. As McPhail, the general, gets it, switches it wide to Hill. Again, the composure and the ball use on show. Nice ball for Stubbs. Happy to go back to go forward and move this Rockingham zone and spread the defence as wide as they can. Miguel tries to go a little bit of Harlem Globetrotters in his ball handling skills, and the uniqueness of the oval ball wasn't on his side as it bounces over and out. 3/4 time in the GFL, Railway 65, Chapman Valley 44. In the second semi there. Tomorrow a big game between Brigades and Towns in the first semi-final. You can see it all on Filming Footy with thanks to Classic Clashes. In the meantime, the Blues, they're back inside 50 with a tumbling kick forward. Sokol leads the race, hands it wide. It was a pretty good handball as well. The kick high and under floating back, Leighton. He eats those for breakfast. Going wide to Tregear. And the long sleeves in the back pocket. Massaging the ball down the outer side. Mark taken for Miller. Wanted the run to the outside, none forthcoming, so he goes inside to Tregear. A quick kick off a step. They're back inside 50. It's one-on-ones ahead of the ball. And they're content to get a forward 50 stoppage. The Rams are peppering. The Blues defence under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, it's a good contest, mate. It's I'll tell you what, a Central supporter, it's quite nervous watching.
I don't mean to stir the pot at all.
Bit of a cheap shot there, that's all right. No.
In the meantime, it's locked up. Umpire will have it on the outer side. So time ticks away in this third term with thanks to Tyre Power Rockingham. Blues ahead by one straight goal. Umpire's called a free kick. He pays the advantage. Tregear rips it away from the pocket against the 50. It's to the near side and missing. He had options through the middle of the ground and at the top of the goal square. Did the selfish thing and went for goal, and in the end it was to his detriment. Five points now the margin. Rockingham have won this quarter so far on the scoreboard with 8 points compared to the 6 for Centrals. Off half-back is where they've been their most dangerous, the Blues. That one wasn't a great kick though to a 3-on-1. Suazo takes it gleefully, gives it to Tregear. He hands it back inside. The run of Walsh is there. He pops it inside 50. Again, not the greatest of kicks, and it misses the lot. Out of bounds on the full. Getting away with a little bit now, the Blues. 12 minutes gone, and it's fair to say Rockingham have really owned this third term. But the defence again of the Blues holding up well, and all they need really to break the hearts of Rams supporters is one more goal in this third term. Both teams scrap away. It spills loose. Miller tries to go short in the pocket. A little too much air on it. And it's knocked over the line. Five points is what it currently stands at. Free kick for Kimpton. Looks short inside, cleared the initial contest. Stubbs was taken almost without it. Rockingham wanted holding the ball. Umpires weren't playing ball with them though. The clearing kick away, just trying to clear the immediate danger. Just about all players inside the forward half of Rockingham. It's a 3-on-1 in favour of the Rams. Holland won it away, puts it inside 50. It was a high up and under ball, knocked away. Getting back McPhail, does well. Well done by the Blues to relieve that away. Great work to Gianardi. Doesn't have a lot on forward of the ball though. Goes short to Dragovic to buy himself a little bit more time and wait for the cavalry to get back into the forward half. Goes short, dangerous looking ball, opens the door for the Rockingham defence, and they are able to clear the ball away yet again. Bit of end-to-end foot in the last few minutes. Walsh takes it, was held up, puts it to the top of the goal square. Lots of numbers for both sides. Knocked away. Can they bounce again? Westphal puts it into the path. Bouncing ball. Well done by Finity to trap it. Wheels around onto the left. Probably just a little too much on it for Sokol, as it's knocked to the front. McGavin goes inside. How does it sit? Well, not kind for either side. They're just happy to sit and wait. Somerville tries to scramble the ball forward. Hand it to Daniel, who's taken out, and there's a bit of feeling in this one. You feel the game has just gone up a notch or two in this third term. Both sides playing without a whole lot of system and really just playing on emotion now.
Yeah, it's definitely a heated one.
As you'd expect in a qualifying final.
I mean, number 35, Angus Taylor, has been terrific for us this year. Bit of reserves, bit of leg, but just very clean, dominant midfielder. He's very good, and he's still young as well, so it's nice to see the talent that we got coming through.
That's timing. Free kick given away.
As they give a free kick.
So the delight of the Rockingham fans. Miller, the recipient of the free kick in neutral territory. Right on centre wing. There's a bit of push and shove off the ball in the forward half. The umpires will be keeping an eye on that. As Miller wheels around onto the right, wants to get as much distance in this kick as he can. Knocked to the back of the contest. It's dangerous here for the Blues. Knocked to the front. They're not out of trouble just yet. White tried to go over the top. Not enough on it. Locked up. Palmer at the bottom of it. Happy to wrap it up and allow for the umpire to come in and relieve the pressure. "30 metres out from a Rockingham goal, dead in front. Both ruckmen had a piece of it. Spills loose. Morley tried to get around a couple. Got a handball free. Gave it to Palmer. Throws it on the boot. Bouncing toward goal. Out of bounds on the full. In this quarter, they've had two behinds and two out of bounds on the full Rockingham to find themselves trailing by 5 points. If they had have taken their opportunities, this game could look a lot different. For the Blues, they need to start to get some going their way. Haven't seen the bounce off half back that we saw in the first half. Just a driving ball down the outer side. Good mark taken by Sokol. Been a great target up forward all year. 53 goals heading into today. Goes long, wanted the line, and happy to take the territory and get the forward half stoppage. This to be thrown in about 70 metres out from a Blues goal. Held back in a play. Foster won the hit out, but to no real advantage. Morley won the clearance. Going toward half forward, Tregear led the race, ran out of room. Plenty of support for both sides. How's the season been overall across all three grades for Centrals this year, Jaden?
Yeah, look, as a president, I think, I come through playing Colts where we didn't win a game for the 2 years that I was captain there. So seeing Daniel Jenkins doing a terrific job with the Colts boys. I mean, he made the grand final 2 years ago, he's doing a great job. Colts are still young. We've got a lot of talent coming through, so it'll be good to see that. Reserves, I mean, yeah, that speaks for itself. Finished in second. Unfortunately, didn't get the result today, but Dean Fulford's done a tremendous job there as our reserves coach, and then yeah, Ryan, as you say, back to back at the moment. So hopefully he can continue his good work. And yeah, all in all, I think at the club is a great feel. We're really big on the family club. That's what we're trying to be, and it's working well so far, I think.
Just wait for this shot at goal for Rockingham. They find themselves down by 4 points. They've owned this third quarter with thanks to tyre power. Rockingham. This is Morley who will get a shot at goal. Dead in front. 40 metres out. This is an important kick in the context of the game. Morley to give the Rams the lead, and doesn't he love it? Gives it a bit of, hey, look at me, get around me, boys. Puts them back up by 2 points and gives them some reward for effort. There was a lot of swagger about that celebration.
Need to get it out the midfield here.
It's been where Rockingham have been on top all day, hasn't
it? Yeah, it's a very good battle. Guess Ryan's got a lot of work to do for the fourth quarter, but I think, I'm confident that he can get the job done.
Only 2 points the margin. It was the Rams by 3 points at quarter time, 7 points in favour of the Blues at half time. Now 2 points in favour of Rockingham. Now, off the field, obviously, we see a lot of country clubs struggling with volunteers and the like. We'll just wait for this ball as Tregear goes inside 50 again with a driving ball. Lots of numbers around this. Knock to the front. The kick off the deck. Almost good there from White. Will go and rove his own footy. Have another crack at it. Spins around and kicks a miraculous goal. The second effort. The snap. The finish. They're out by 8 points. And there may be just a few alarm bells ringing for the coaching staff of the Blues. (41 plays 49, an 8 point margin. They've opened this game right up, the Rams. On the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard, 41 plays 49. 21 minutes gone. Just quickly before we have to let you go, how are you going off the field in terms of getting volunteers and support around the club?
Look, unfortunately, footy clubs don't run without volunteers. I've got some really, really good support in the likes of Bert Easthope, former president, current secretary, vice president Jeff Coombs. They're both really, really pushing the old school way of, unfortunately these days everyone's busy, work, kids, stuff like that, but I think we go okay in finding volunteers, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
The quick snap from Leighton.
Jesus.
They've kicked the last 3, 4 even. And if they weren't ringing before, the alarm bells certainly are now. They've opened this game up to a 14 point margin. Kicked the last 5 goals now, and just as we were singing the praises of the Central's backline, they have now leaked some important goals and a few opportunities. Can they start to win a bit of ball out of the middle? They can't. It will be the Rams again out the back door trying to work their way through. Butler on his trusty left. A high up and under ball. There's more a kick in hope to the front of the contest. Miller tried to scrap his way through. Off the deck. Kick taken by Tregear. Well done in defence though. Off half back. Dragovic. Looks down the line. He's got nothing to go to. He looks in the corridor. Nothing there either. So he has to pump this ball along. Great set of dukes there from Somerville to take the mark. Happy to now wind this clock down If they can sneak one late, that would be a bonus. Dragovic, one of the better players throughout the season, goes wide. Goodall had to wait for it to get to him. Goes down the line on the chest of Bradley. Has Stanley inside in the middle of 4 Rams defenders. We've had probably 6 possessions for not a whole lot of gain here, the Blues, but can they get something going? Stubbs goes back to Stanley, back to Stubbs. Now they're under pressure. Shrugs the tackle, tumbles it to half forward. Does the chaos ball work? Elcock gets over the back. He's got an open goal. Hits the post. Almost had too much time to think about things, and he slams it into the woodwork. Gets it back to a 13-point margin. Blasted away out of trouble for the Rams. To the front. Part of the Seas. Gave it to Foster. Well done. Now Elcock. Can he get another go at it? Cleared his head and it's then wrapped up in the pocket. Clock winding down. Right on the 3/4 time siren. Here in the qualifying final. Jordy Williamson and Ben Saunders have just put Railways up by 4 goals.
Take it, you're a Railways fan.
Oh, big Railways man, yeah. Big Railways man in the second semi there up in Jero. Free kick in the back pocket. We'll try and stay professional here. Layden blasts it down the line. Good mark taken by White. Took front position. Looking down the line, he's got a few options inside, but he's happy to take it to 3/4 time with a 13-point margin. After trailing by 7 at half time, they now find themselves 13 points up at 3/4 time. 55 plays 42. Thank you very much, Jaden, for jumping on the call.
Cheers,
All the best
thanks for having me.
The rest of the game and whatever else the season holds.
Yeah,
Thanks for your
appreciate
time.
it. Thank you. Cheers.
Jaden Clatworthy there. It's great to have your company. Do not go anywhere. We've got a great final quarter coming up right after this. Three-quarter time here in the first qualifying final of season 2025 in the Peel Football and Netball League. And at three-quarter time, it is Rockingham leading Centrals 55-42. A 13-point margin after they trailed by 7 points at halftime, led by 3 at quarter time. At the final change, they lead it by 13 points. The winner of today will head in and face South Mandurah next weekend and be 1 win away from the grand final, while the loser is set for a date with the winner of Pinjarra and Halls Head. That game currently on at the moment, with the Robbins boys calling the absolute socks off that game for Classic Clashes and filming footy. So once this game's finished, you can head across and watch that and work out who will be playing next weekend. It all depends on the result of this game. Still plenty of football left, 25 minutes to go. Do the Blues have one last attack in them? They need to sort their midfield out. They've been dominated through there all day. And when their half-backs and their running game couldn't get going in that second quarter, they were found out. As Chris Scott just puts the Blues up by another 20, back to 27 points. In the second semi-final there in Geraldton, the GNFL 12-12-84 for Railways. To Chapman Valley 8-9-57. Almost 20 minutes gone in the last, so it looks like Railways are set for another grand final as they look to break the drought dating back to 2011.
So the winner out of this one, the loser out of this one is out.
Nah, they'll play South Mandurah. They'll play either Pinjarra or Halls Head next weekend in the other qualifying final. We're underway in the final term with thanks to Ray White Mandurah, and it's a rare clearance here for the Blues. It's pumped forward by Bradley to half forward, gets out the back. Foster, a quick kick on goal for the immediate response out of three-quarter time. He's missing to the right. Trims the margin to 2 straight kicks. Wanting to move the ball immediately. It was a little wide for Taylor. The bounce wasn't kind. Trying to keep it in was Gianardi. He sees it out. Not a bad spot to be in, though, if you are a Blues supporter. Held back into play, right on the half-forward line here for Centrals. That'll be called back after a very shallow throw-in. Saw at three-quarter time, the Blues boys get an almighty bake from their head coach in Ryan Henley. They are the back-to-back reigning premiers, of course, the Blues, but Rockingham with all the run and carry so far, handed wide. Kimpton had Stubbs wearing him like a glove, and the pressure worked out okay to get it to Elcock. He goes inside 50. Layden did well. Good composure. Invited a bit of pressure, though. And as a result, there's been a free kick for a throw against the skipper. Coming back for the Blues. So what would be a very important shot at goal. This is Sokol, who has kicked 1 today. This to put it back to 1 straight kick. On a slight angle, 40 metres out from goal, is the man on the mark off the back of some great forward pressure. It floats its way towards goal. It's there. They're back within a goal. And this game takes another turn. Sokol gets his second. And on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard, 55 for Rockingham. They've got a challenge from the Blues, who are on 48. A great response out of three-quarter time so far from the Blues. They've been winning it out of the middle, which they haven't really done all day. So whatever they've changed through the midfield, whatever was said, the new setup is working. I can see Dragovic probably got a little bit more of a defensive midfield, the Blues, to try and stop the run and carry of Rockingham out of the middle. Both ruckmen had a piece of it. Off the deck, got past Elcock, might get it back again. Decides to continue to soccer the ball forward and inside. Tried to kick it to himself. Daniel was there, got it, was ripped off it, dispossessed. Play on, said the umpire. The quick kick away from Dunster was good. Alcock will corral and try and pressure into the boundary. Well done by McGavin, though, to get it away. Composure and skill on show as it falls its way to Tregear. Tregear, his kick was smothered, got too close to the mount of the mark. Gianardi ricocheted off. Little kick inside, knocked away from Alcock. Works its way to Dragovic. He goes inside 50 to the top of the goal square. Mark taken, almost. Spills loose. Numbers with the Blues. Great pressure by Leighton. Locks it in at the top of the goal square. About 30 metres out from goal for the Blues. An important tackle. From the restart. One away by Rockingham. Tregear handed it back. Goes in turn. Holland tried to get it over the top to Morley. Boundary wins that battle. This has been a cracking contest so far today. There's a goal, the difference in this contest, and it's locked in the forward half of the Blues. Slapped back by Walsh. There's a dangerous ball and mowed down from behind is Butler, holding the ball. Great forward 50 pressure. This time by Somerville. This would be a pretty difficult kick, a 45-degree angle, 45 metres out from goal. If he can kick this, it would be back to an even playing field. Somerville, after putting on some great pressure, it swings back and it swings home. The Blues aren't done with yet. They've kicked the opening 2 of the final term to get it back to a level playing field. On the Community Bank Hall's Head scoreboard, it's 55 apiece. This final term, with thanks to Ray White Mandra, all thanks.
You got 2 different scores.
No, I haven't.
Someone do a back count.
You can actually ask the timekeeper, it'd be handy.
All,
Yeah.
Can you ask the timekeeper just to get double check?
all thanks
Have you talked to the timekeeper?
to
That's what
our
I've got.
great sponsors, Classic Clashes, Filming Footy, Great Southern Fields, UTF, Trailers, AFTRI, Delta Ag, Archies and the Kimberley Accommodation Group. From the middle, Dragovic, a raking right foot, the Chaos ball to half forward, gets past the original little contest. Alcock circles. We know how dangerous he is around goal. There's been a whistle on play, going the way of Rockingham. And in good news if you're a Blues supporter, Rise are through to a grand final, defeating Chapman Valley 84-57. They'll be off to the big dance in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, Rockingham over the top. Suazo handed it to the run. Tregear. He goes inside 50. Stubbs will come from behind. Got the defensive spoil in. Well done. To the front though. Numbers with the Rams. 3 hands. Walsh waltzes toward goal and kicks it. Rams back in front. Breaks the run of 2 goals for the Blues, and they're back
Nah, she's caught up to you now.
I'm right, aren't
in
I?
the lead.
Yeah, you're good. I didn't doubt you, trust me.
61 plays 55.
We're only here once a year. Wouldn't like to be the wrong one.
A seesawing affair here in the qualifying final. The winner will be just 1 win away from the grand final up against South Mandurah next week. The loser to play the winner of Pinjarra and Hall's Head to go the hard way into the prelim. Ball back in the middle, knocked free. Taylor leads the race, just quickly slams it forward, tries to get as much meterage on as he can, gets over the back. Dunster's there, won't get to him though as it's worked out. Holland, he sends it toward the broadcast side of the ground. High up and under ball, knocked away from the one-on-one. Dragovic just spoils it forward, tries to get as much meterage. There's a free kick going the way of the Blues. Dunster with the free kick. Kicked 2 in the opening quarter. Since then, hasn't really been cited. The Peel Thunder. Regular. Dunster on a 45-degree angle, 35 metres out. It swings back, it's there. We're back to a draw. And the bank of blue and white erupt. Dunster has his third. And you sense that there's still a lot more to be written in this game. 9 minutes gone in the final term with thanks to Ray White Mandra. It is 61 apiece on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. Ball back in the middle of Anniversary Park in front of a great crowd in attendance. About 16 minutes to go still in this contest. A long way yet. Miller wins the clearance. Goes to half forward. Poole leads the race. Lost his footing at a critical stage. Stubbs took him high. Still a kick away from home. Poole to a pretty congested forward line. Puts it as deep and as long as he can, and left alone was Kimpton. Somehow spotted a gap in between 4 white jumpers, and he said thank you very much. He'll now go back to put the Rams back in front. This game is far from over, you feel. Kimpton hasn't kicked one yet today. Leans back slightly on the kick, pushes it across the face, it stays in play. On said the umpire. Scores stay level at 61 apiece. Down the line it heads. Good mark taken by Goodall. The pressure was coming, he stood tall. He flicks it over the top to Coutinho. He's got time and space ahead of him. In the end, probably a little too much. Spots the kick nicely. Well weighted to the lead of Somerville. Holds it. Waits for the right option. Pops it inside 50. Does it get over the back? Almost. Trugier wrapped up. Held to him. Deep inside attack here for the Blues. They've kicked 3 goals to 1 in this final quarter with thanks to Ray White Mandra to get it back to an even playing field after being down by 13 points at the final change. Goodall will put it into the pocket. Almost. Great mark taken in defence there by Suazo. Stood his ground, read it well. Takes the mark. Stays down the line to a nest of players. Both sides well represented. Scoots out the back. Who's got more composure? Well, the Blues had the numbers and the numbers win out, but maybe they didn't have the composure as it's a wild kick from Goodall. It stays in just, and there'll be a 50-metre penalty for Somerville.
Exactly halfway.
A costly error, and we're bang on halfway through the last to give away a 50-metre penalty and give Somerville a really nice look at it. Hasn't kicked one today. It's been pretty good though throughout. He's on a bit of an angle. Distance not a worry. Accuracy not either. Blues are back in front. That's his second for today. Kicked one earlier in this quarter to get them to an even playing field. Now he puts them up. We're over halfway in the final term. 67 plays 61. Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. This final term brought to you by Ray White Mandra. Still plenty of football to be played in this game and plenty right across the state. Tomorrow, the Eastern Districts Football League Grand Finals out in Merredin. We'll be there calling all the action. Both the reserves and the league. Make sure you tune in for your Sunday afternoon. We've got it sorted. Don't have to move a muscle tomorrow. In the meantime, Palmer flicked it wide. Tregear will run and bounce and carry. Gets away from Coutinho just. Puts it in toward half forward. There's been a free kick down the ground to the Rams. They won't get the advantage despite it making its way to Willis on the lead. It will be brought back to half forward. Again, a congested forward line. Can they find some space somewhere? Well, it was forward for Willis. He flew from 3 deep. Working his way through and trying to get free is Stanley. He handed it wide. Giannardi does well. Gets it to Coutinho. Goes down the line further. Miguel. Goes inboard. Hill. Goes longer. It's had to be a good kick. It was. Had the right amount of distance, but Foster spilt the mark straight off his chest. Tumbles it inside 50. Hands it back. Miguel pumps it back inside 50 to the top of the goal square. Knocked away from the initial contest. Somerville will get the crumbs. Flick it back. Lots of pressure. Lots of bodies around this. This game still isn't done. Bouncing ball. How does it sit? Pull, sat and wait for it. To the end, in the end it was to his detriment, but it works out as Holland is taken high. Wants to keep the ball in motion. Tregear sliding, mark not paid, hands it free. Miller wheels onto the right to the one-on-one. Big ball to win, and it's won by Willis. Big moment in the game. Takes a big mark. And this would tie things back up. It's been a 4-1 final term in favour of the Blues. To get it back to an even playing field of 67 points. Willis. We're right behind this kick. It floats its way home. Well, it's certainly not the prettiest of kicks, but it does the job. We're back even on the Community Bank Halls Head scoreboard. 67 apiece. It's been a seesawing final term, a 4-2 last quarter. Rockingham led it by 13 points at the final change. 16, nearly 17 minutes gone. Still 8 minutes left. Ball back in the middle. What more does this game have in store for us? Knocked wide. Dragovic protected the space. Dives on top. Are we set for extra time? So many possibilities left in this game. Do not go anywhere. The remaining 7 minutes are going to be a cracking finish. Morley tumbles it forward. Norman took front position. He's been quiet today, but all he needs is one last moment to be remembered as a hero. Coutinho gets it wide. Taylor thought about the run past, almost played on. Umpire didn't see it that way. Sticks down the line. There are 3 2-on-2s. Gets over the back of all of them, and it's into the run. Can they keep the ball in motion here, the Blues? Toward the boundary it heads, and that's where he goes for a stoppage. Time becoming a factor. 7 minutes remain. You feel that not even one goal would win it from here. To be safe, you'd need it. Probably another couple. The Blues have really owned this final term after copping a bake at 3/4 time. Tregear came as the third man up and spoils it over the line. to reset themselves in defence. Lots of tired bodies out there for both sides. It's been an enthralling contest. And we still don't know who will be advancing next weekend to play South Mandurah and who's set to go the long way round and run into either Pinjarra or Hall's Head. We'll try and get a score from that game before the day is out. From the clearance, Daniel flicked it wide. It was a dangerous looking handball across the face of goal. There's been a whistle on play. There's been a throw. And a bit of push and shove after to Inju. Umpires come in to just try and break this up. Nothing really happening. It's a free kick to Rockingham. Right on the goal line. Going wide. It's a dangerous ball. Daniel's up to the challenge though. A strong mark with Stanley bearing down on him. It's a wobbly old ball toward half back. Over the back. White tries to take it. Couldn't be clean. They have the numbers at the fall of the ball. But the Blues pressure again. Up to match it. Over and out. Throw in. Inside the final 5 minutes almost in this game. To be tossed back into play at half forward for the Blues. Score's still locked. Does the next goal win it? Maybe. It at least goes a long way to winning it. Miguel with the free kick. Caught it half forward. Will drive this ball long and deep and as far as he can. Right to the tee of the goal. Over the back, mark not taken. Down by the goal line. Is it taken over? It is. Leighton happy to concede a rush behind as the Blues go up by a point. Inside the final 4.5 minutes. Leighton on the last line of defence. Drives it to the broadcast wing. Palmer takes the mark. Does he get the 50? No. Big decision. Could have been costly. Goes laterally. Further down the line for Willis. Has a lot of work to do with Stanley bearing down his neck. Locked up. We'll get a stoppage. As the time it ticks by, it just gets better and better for the Blues who lead it by a point. 21 gone. To the front, locked up again, trying to scrap his way through. Miller. Can't get away. He'll be tossed back in. Time on the Blues side. They lead it by a point. Can they get a goal and put it out by 7 and almost put it beyond doubt? It's tumbled forward. The Rams have really one last attack left in them. To Norman. Had it knocked away from him. To the front. Goodall wrapped up. Happy to lock it in. But it is edging closer and closer to the Rams' goal. Norman to do the ruck work. Up against Bradley for the Blues. Knocked free. Stanley. Just wants to clear it as far as he can. It's outbounds on the full. He would have loved for it to go over the fence and into the nest of Blues fans to waste a little bit more time. Instead, it's a free kick with 3 minutes remaining. Daniel with the kick. A goal here would put them up by 5 points. They trail it by a point. It's a driving ball inside 50. Lots of numbers around this. The spoil to the back. Had to go to the boundary. It doesn't. It stays alive. Miller blasts it across the face of goal. Out of bounds on the full. And that could almost do it for the Blues. Still 2 minutes remain. They lead it by a point. Stubbs goes down the line. Wasn't the greatest of kicks, but when you had McPhail on the end of it, the confidence would have been high. Trump triggles it down the line. Tregear caught holding the ball. Big decision. Numbers inside for the Blues. And more time wasted. Under 2 minutes remain. Coutinho Goes laterally. McPhail. Happy to hold and concede and wait. Dangerous ball over the top. Millam knocks it over and out. They need to win this clearance, Rockingham, and keep the ball in motion. There's a minute and a half remaining. Still enough time for a goal. And a heartbreaker. Winner through to the qualifying final next week to go into the grand final. Almost the mark taken by McPhail. Spills to Coutinho. He clears it. They're almost out. They've got the numbers 4 to the ball. Running free. Taylor. He's got a couple to beat. Has a bit of support from behind. Happy to take it over. And we're inside the final minute. It would take something very special from here for Rockingham to be hurled back into play. They'll have to go end to end in less than a minute. As it stands, about 45 seconds left. Ball trickles around, bit of ping pong. Spills loose eventually. Elcock couldn't get a clean possession. Knocked forward. Is there one last charge for the Rams? They can't get a clean possession when they needed one so desperately. Coutinho, a cool hand under pressure. Goes inside 50. Knocked away. Tregear locked up. Spilling free. Sokol was ripped off the footy. Gave it away. And they're home. The Blues will progress to next weekend. A late goal right on the siren. We'll see them win it by 7 points. We wait for the final decision. Umpires are conferring. Nonetheless, it is a win to the Blues, who will head into next week against South Mandurah. It is a goal. They run out winners. 74 to 67, a 7-point win to the back-to-back reigning premiers. They were down by 13 points at the final change. It was then a 5-2 final quarter to get the win by 7 points. They'll now take on South Mandurah next weekend in the second qualifying final. If they win that, they will progress on to the grand final. They are now just one win away from a crack at a three-peat. While for Rockingham, they will now likely face Pinjarra, who are leading by a lot against Hall's Head. In fact, full time in that game, 17-12, 114 to Hall's Head, 5-8-38. So they set themselves up for a date with Rockingham, who go down at home after finishing second. It took until the final siren for the game to be confirmed. A seesawing affair. It was Rockingham by 3 points at quarter time. At half time, the Blues by 7 points. Three-quarter time, a 13-point lead to Rockingham. And at that point, the way their midfield were operating, it was hard to see a way back for the Blues. They copped a bit of a bake at three-quarter time, came out firing to win it by 7 points. An enthralling game here at Anniversary Park. Hope you enjoyed the coverage, with thanks to all our sponsors, Alcoa, 2A Batteries, Tyre Right Rockingham, Ray White Mandurah, Community Bank Hall's Head, and also our sponsors here for the broadcast, Classic Clashes and Filming Footy, live from the Classic Clashes truck, brought to you by Great Southern Fuels, UTF Trailers, AFGRI, Delta Ag, Archies, and the Kimberley Accommodation Group. So in the first qualifying final, it is the Centrals Blues winning by 7 points in a heartstopper against Rockingham, 74 to 67. Hope you enjoyed it. There's still plenty more to come over the weekend. Tomorrow, we've got the EDFL Grand Finals out at Merredin. Hope you can join us there. It's going to be a great day of football. A great couple of weeks still coming up here on Filming Footy and Classic Clashes. Enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy September. What a way to start final season for 2025. Good night.